I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Jesse.
And here we are for the first time.
What are we doing?
We are going to read Reddit stories, or stories, and give our takes on them, and our opinions, and our advice.
Right, and we're still trying to figure out a name.
Yes.
So
Welcome to soon to come name, because we don't know yet.
All right, well. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to do like we're going to talk for a little bit and then we'll get into the stories, or whatever's most comfortable for you, my dear?
We can just hop right in, I guess. It's just us, so.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
it's us and the animals. So
Yeah.
generally when we're going to be doing this, we're going to have probably a cat walking across the table at some point. She just
Or on your
hello.
lap.
Yep, she'll be here. I'm sure you'll hear her.
Not across my laptop, please.
Yeah. So I guess get into it, Kitty. Oh no, the cameras.
We might have to move her. No, kitty. No.
All right, that's gonna be pretty funny.
Anyway, so my husband here has his own podcast, and I had decided that this is something I wanted to do. So that's how this got started.
Yeah. She just kind of. Well, we went on our honeymoon, and
Like a week ago.
yeah, and she had me listening to the podcast that she listens to, which is of similar interest, and I kind of liked it.
We discussed a lot and paused it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had the conversations that the people that we were listening to were having, and
We had some of the same takes on it and some different ones too, though.
yeah. Well, it's easy, it's nice too when you have in some of these stories when you have a male's perspective and a female's perspective.
Yes.
Plus, we come from very different lives.
Yes.
Not, I don't want to say that we were brought up much differently.
We were brought up pretty differently. I think.
Okay, yeah, our family dynamics were different, but like we were same lower class, and
Yeah.
and then like I went and wasn't sober for a very long time, and
I was on the straight and narrow, but I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that your family was on the straight and narrow. My dad was not. So we went in opposite directions for a while and eventually met. Thank goodness it was after he got sober, because I don't think we'd be here today. But yeah. So we'll have very different takes on different aspects of certain things, I think.
agreed.
Okay, well, I think today all the stories I saved were Am I the Asshole?
Okay.
So today is going to be an Am I the Asshole kind of thing. So the first one up is, am I the asshole for telling my husband he's too broke to be sexist?
He's too broke to be sexist.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So my husband comes from a traditional family. Mom's a stay-at-home mom. Father was sole provider. I came from the opposite. My mother pretty much forbade from ever being financially dependent on a man and drilled that into me early on. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw replicated at home. He often more than pulled his weight at home, was an engaged and present father and genuine partner. The one thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on the opinions of his family. I get that we all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is too much. My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. Our usual MO is I prep breakfast, we all eat lunch at work/school, and my husband makes dinner. We have a cleaner, but she's on holiday, so in the meantime, we're DIYing the cleaning, where it's down to everyone to keep their space clean in common spaces. We all clean. This is how we've always done it, and it works. My in-laws hate that I'm one of those modern women. They hate that I work. They hate that I don't find my purpose in being a wife and mother. And they hate that my husband pulls his weight at home. We spoke pretty frankly early on, where I established my boundaries and told them I won't be chastised about how I live my life in my home. When I am a guest in their home, I accommodate their ways and play the daughter-in-law they wish I was. They have, for the most part, respected this. I got home yesterday after work, tired and starving. I typically get home 8:15 to 8:30, and we eat. No. Sorry, they did it in military time.
We'll just say the military time.
6:15 to 6:30, and they eat at 7. I said quick hellos and ran up for a pre-dinner shower. When I came down, I went to the kitchen to help set up for dinner and found nothing ready. I asked my husband about it, but he wouldn't look at me, and his mother answered that he hadn't cooked anything. She told me I needed to do my duty as a wife and cook for my family. My coward of a husband still wasn't looking at me. I just walked away and ordered takeaway. I dished up for me and my kids, and we sat at the table to eat. My husband and his parents served themselves and joined us. My mother-in-law was still going on about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say. He said his mother had a point, and it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman and took better care of my home and children. He said traditional was tradition for a reason, and it was kind of insulting that I thought I was too good for how he was raised. This is where I might be the asshole. I told him tradition won't allow a man on $35,000 to support a family of 5, and he was too broke to be sexist. He looked hurt, and I saw tears welling in his eyes. He excused himself from the table. I regret saying this in front of our children, but him saying this to me after I'm busting my ass to clean up his mess on top of having to deal with his parents was too much for me. Am I the asshole?
Well, it sounds to me like initially the conversation that they had was an emotional response, and I say that because, like she said, she's busting her ass. She's going to work.
She's tired.
Yeah, she's got to come home to all this shit. So I get where she's coming from. I don't think that any monetary status has anything to do with how sexist you should be.
It's hard because if you want a traditional marriage, traditionally the man brings home the money, and the woman stays home, cleans the house, and takes care of the children. If the man is not bringing home enough money, it can't work out that way.
That's true.
If you want that kind of life, bring home more money.
That is true.
So I think that's where she was coming from. It was voted not the asshole, that she was not the asshole. I do think that he should have put his in-laws or his parents, her in-laws, in their place and told them, like, this is our home. This is how we do things.
Right.
Done.
I agree with that, too, because, I mean, that's your wife. You got to stand up to her or stand up for her.
Like, at that point, you chose that woman to start that life with. She should be your priority. Her and your kids.
I agree.
Should be your priority. Top comment is, sucks the kids were there for it, but he deserves worse, not the asshole. Should have ordered only enough food for you and your kids.
I do agree that it sucks that the kids were there. We've both been put in situations as children that we shouldn't have been, and
I agree.
You know,
children shouldn't have to deal with adult issues.
No.
Ever. There was a comment further down the list that says, I think you need to talk to the kids about what their grandparents are telling them. I bet they're trying to push their beliefs even when you aren't around.
I could see that happening.
Yes.
I don't know these people, obviously, but I know people like that, and I see it happen.
From what we're given in the story, it sounds like they're the type of people that think that this is how the world should be. Mm-hmm. This is how women should be. This is how men should be. This is how a relationship should work. Every relationship is so different. Every household runs so differently. Our household does not run how your mom or your dad's household runs. My household does not run how my mom's or my dad's household runs.
Right.
Everybody does things so differently.
Yeah, and like us, for example, you make way more money than I do.
Yes.
And I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, we have, I don't even know that we really have it worked out. We just do what needs done when it needs done.
And I personally could not work. I could not be a stay-at-home wife. I could not be I couldn't do it. I would end up sitting in front of the TV, doing absolutely nothing, and getting very depressed. It gets me out of the house. It gets me moving. I don't like work all the time. I don't.
Who does?
Nobody does. But I enjoy, like, my, having to use my brain power and all of that.
Right.
I enjoy that.
Well, and for me, I mean, I work seasonally, so I'm just getting back to work after a month and a half.
2 months?
Month and a half.
I don't know.
Month and a half. So I haven't worked in a month and a half, but I have, I come down here, I do my podcast, I do all my fishing videos, and I keep myself busy.
Right.
I'll take care of the lawn, I'll do that.
See, and I would sit on the couch and do crafts all day long and then look around and be like, oh no, the house is a mess.
Right. So, like,
it wouldn't work out.
I don't expect you to, go buy all the shelving stuff and put all the shelving stuff up or anything like that.
We have a lot of holes in the walls.
I put holes in the walls that aren't supposed to be there, but
as long as you can cover them up, it's fine.
Yeah, everything's a learning process. So, I didn't really know how to do any of the things that I've done to this house until we moved in here.
We figured it out we figured it out. Luckily, your dad knows how to do a lot of stuff and was able to come in and show you how to do this stuff. Another commenter, also sucks the kids had to hear the father's statements about being a traditional wife. The response to the comment was, this is honestly the bigger concern here. Hearing your grandmother call your mom a failure of a woman and your father agree can seriously mess with them. Much worse than knowing your dad earns less than mom. Proud of OP to call his statement sexist in front of the kids. This needs to be addressed immediately. Also, if you don't know, OP is original poster.
Yes.
Okay.
I do know this. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to say, when you're in the moment and something like that happens, you don't think about the surroundings.
No.
I've been in plenty of situations where I've flipped my lid and didn't think about who was standing there, or I've said things or done things, and
yeah,
there was some around. This is, I just want to take the time to say that this is new a little bit. We, for my podcast up until this week, I didn't have a curtain over here, and we did a bunch of cable management and are moving things around in here. And our big dog,
he does not know what to do.
No, he doesn't like new things at all. So there's a curtain up, and he doesn't realize that he's bigger than the curtain and can move it. Also, our little dog thinks he's a big dog, and he's very possessive over everything. And we left to go shopping today, and I believe that there was a fight between the two dogs. We've managed that situation, but the little guy is still a little pissed off.
Oh, he figured it out.
And we did have to pause this for a second, so there might be some breaks while we're figuring this out. Slight technical difficulties, nothing to worry about here.
And to resume.
Yes.
So I think she's not the asshole.
No, I don't either. You have to say what has to be said, and sometimes it does come off as you being an asshole, but as you, like my dad has said, you might think that I'm being an asshole, but when I say it like this, there is no way that you think that I'm saying something else.
You're not going to misinterpret what I'm saying to you.
Exactly. And I think that's a perfect example. I think that if OP didn't say that, the point may have never gotten across.
No, and she'd be dealing with this for years to come. And the thing is he's going to either decide, oh, I messed up, or they're not going to have a marriage.
Right.
And one or the other needs to happen.
Hopefully they have good communication.
It doesn't sound like it, but hopefully starting now, they can figure it out.
Right.
Okay. Well,
not the asshole.
Yep. All right. Next one. Am I the asshole for telling my dad there will be no making up for missing my high school graduation? I personally, my father did not come to my high school graduation. So, all right. I'm 18 male, graduating high school at the end of this month. My dad dropped the bomb on me 2 nights ago that his stepdaughter, 14 female, has an award ceremony for some competition she entered and won in another state on that same day, and that she really wants him to be there. He told me he couldn't possibly make it to both, and since his wife and their children together will be going, he needs to be there too. He told me he would make it up to me and we could celebrate another time. I still live with him, not for much longer. My mom died when I was 7, and my dad got married again when I was 11 or 12. It has been a few years anyway. His stepdaughter never knew her bio dad, so my dad has accepted her as his own, and he has prioritized her a lot in the last 5 to 6 years. It doesn't always show in the most obvious ways, but it can be felt. Father-son time was put on an indefinite hiatus, and instead Dad told me we needed to include her in our time together, but he also spent time with her just for her, for father-daughter time. I brought it up to my dad, and he told me I wasn't exactly making an effort to be closer to her, so he wanted us all to bond and didn't want me to just focus on my relationship with him. He has attended her dance things instead of my basketball games if they're on at the same time. It doesn't matter if mine was known about first, he will skip my stuff to go to hers. He will take us on family days, and whenever he and his wife say kids can choose, he picks her choice over mine. He claims this because they will be the most fun for everybody, but really, he even says it afterwards. Anything his little princess wants. Our refrigerator and shower broke at the same time. His stepdaughter's birthday was coming up, so he took money from my birthday fund to pay for the stuff, and so his stepdaughter would definitely get what she wanted. The Barbie house thing and a whole fashion set that they were, I think Dad said, $250. He didn't get all the money back by the time my birthday came around, so instead he bought me a $30 gift card for Steam when he had promised me a new monitor and keyboard for my computer. That was a gift from my grandparents. When my dad told me he wouldn't be at my graduation to go and support her, I told him there is no making up for that, and he can forget about being included in my life going forward. He told me he would make it up to me, and I told him I will always come second to his little princess, and I'm not going to be okay with that. I told him he's discarded me for the last time. Dad begged me to be reasonable, but I walked away. Then I invited both sets of grandparents who agreed to come. His wife told me I could have come with them and don't need to attend the ceremony, but could support my sister. I said her daughter's not my sister, and I do not want to support their family anymore, and I will be out of their hair soon. She called me selfish and told me I can't deny her daughter a dad. Am I the asshole?
First of all, I don't think he's denying.
He did at the end, but understandably.
Well, okay, so a graduation ceremony, if it's important to your child, which to me, I can't say anything. I didn't do the whole graduation ceremony shit. I got handed my...
It's huge.
It is huge for some kids. It's also huge for some parents. Like, my mom wanted me to walk across the stage. I wanted no part of that shit. They handed me my diploma. I did a burnout in the parking lot, and I left. Never went back.
When my name got called, I could hear my mom screaming in the stands.
I could see that. So this guy wanted his dad to be there.
He was a kid. He lost his mom young.
And it's important to him.
Yeah.
Now,
obviously.
This is his dad's stepdaughter, right? I caught that right? Okay, so, yes, I understand that you want to be there for her, too.
It's like he's taken the role of her father because she didn't know her father.
Which is perfectly fine. Good on you for that. However, this is your son. This is the only time he's going to graduate from high school. So, if you have put your stepdaughter in place of everything else, one thing. He's only asking you for one thing, one night. It's only, how long does that thing take? I guess it probably depends on how big your high school is.
Yeah, it depends on how big your high school is. Mine took a couple hours, but I went to a very big high school. So
you got a couple hours. Yeah. So does stepdaughter want an award in another state for something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was like a competition, but she's 14. She's going to have...
She's got
so many other awards or ceremonies and things like that. And the thing is like my dad was very big on pre-made families is what I called it. So he'd go find a woman who already had kids, who already, had a family, and he would just hop on in. And then he would be their dad. And he would not come to mine or my sister's things. He would go to her kids' things, but not our things. So it's like you're saying that, oh, this family is more important. So not only did this kid lose his mother at a young age, now he's lost his father.
Right.
To this other family. He's created a whole new family, and now this kid is left behind. He does say in one of the comments, my dad's parents already had a fight with him over this whole thing. So his dad's parents are coming to the graduation. His mom's parents are coming to the graduation. His deceased mom's parents. So it's like, it's hard. I do not think he's the asshole at all.
No, I don't think he is either. I'm heavy with the emotional response thing. I've done it a billion times. I'll continue to do it in my life.
Definitely.
You get
Been there.
things happen to you. You get pissed off, or you get sad, or whatever emotion you're feeling, and you say things that you don't mean. Now, I'm not saying that OP does not feel the way that he said. You know,
you say things you mean, but you would have said in a more tactful manner.
Thank you for explaining that like a real adult. So
I don't know if I'm a real adult.
Well, we'll find out, I guess. I don't know if he truly is gonna feel like that in a couple of years. You know, like, I don't want you around type of thing.
Yeah. He could easily decide that he wants to invite his dad to his college graduation or something.
Right. He's 18.
Right.
Now, I know from experience that I've said things to my dad that I didn't fully mean. I probably meant then. But you've got to be able to... And I'm not going to say that you have to be able to communicate, because my dad and I have never had that communication type like that.
That's hard.
It is hard for a father and son, because you're raised as a man, you know, like, be emotionless, whatever.
Be a man.
Yeah, be a man.
Men don't cry. Men don't have feelings, which is utter bullshit.
A lot of the time between my dad and I, if there's any disagreement, I mean, we've never had anything like that, thank God, but it's just kind of like an unspoken thing. Like, I'm going to show back up at Dad's. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to look at him. I might tell him sorry. I might not. I might just start helping him with whatever he's doing. Yeah. And hopefully that becomes the case, because it does suck to see a family fall apart over trivial shit like that. But I think that the dad should know. I mean, maybe his high school graduation wasn't important to him, but you should know that your son...
Yeah. You should know what's so important to him that he would want you there. There is another comment that says, also, your stepsister has one parent who can attend, her mom. You only have one living parent, so he should come to yours. On the days where there are important things that clash, it's fair that each child gets one parent in attendance.
100% agree.
Yes. I've had that where it was hard, because mom raised us, just mom for the most part, you know, and there were times when we had, you know, back when we played soccer or whatever. I don't play soccer because I am not hand-eye coordinated. I got hit in the face with the ball and I was done. But
well, luckily you play soccer with your feet, so hand-eye coordination shouldn't have anything to do with it.
It has a lot to do with it.
Hand-foot coordination, maybe.
You kick it and you just land on your back, and it's not good. Yeah. But there were times when I would get my mom for half of my game, and my sister would get mom for half of her game. Or we wouldn't get her at all because she had to work or, you know, something else.
Right.
So I definitely think that his dad should have been there.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think he's his dad. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole at all. And this was posted 5 months ago.
Any updates?
No updates. Just that he will be moving in with his grandparents after graduation. So
probably a solid idea. Get some space between you.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Sorry, I just read this one today. It was posted 5 years ago, so it's an old one. Am I the asshole for telling cashier that wasn't the girl's credit card?
That wasn't the girl's credit card.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Throwaway because husband told me I was the asshole and want to know before I get home and argue. On phone format is bad, so I'm going to be figuring out how to word it as I go. So if I stumble, not my fault. I was in a higher-end department store today and happened to end up next to two teenage-aged girls while shopping. One of the girls had picked out a pair of very expensive boots, and they were both fawning over them. Second girl must have looked at price tag and asked Boots girl if she was really going to spend that much on boots. Girl with boots says something along the lines of, "It's fine, I have my dad's credit card. I'm not paying." Which instantly caught my attention because that's not her card. All caps. I've told my son multiple times he's never allowed to use my card, so I'm interested to see how this girl thinks she's going to get away with fraud, but had split up from the girls at this point because they had found something else. We end up at the same register, me behind them, and I see her total hit well over 4 digits. The girl is about to swipe her card when I decide that I can't let her get away with something like this, and someone has to parent this kid if no one else will. I tell cashier that isn't her card but her father's, and I'm not sure she has permission. Girl and friend turn and glare at me, giving me possibly the dirtiest look I've ever seen. I swear this girl was going to throw a tantrum right there. I don't think she was ever told no. Girl tells cashier her father gave her the card to shop with because it's the store's credit card and it gives him the points. Now that I've pointed out it wasn't hers, cashier tells her she can't use the card. Girl tries to show ID to prove that they have the same last name. Yeah, that will help. And I tell her it's still fraud. Girl says it's not fraud because she has permission and tells me to mind my own business. I tell her that is my business and that she's doing something illegal. She needs to pay with her own card or I will call the cops. Girl is pissed now and people are glaring at me. She uses her own card and leaves crying. Cashier looks mad at me and I tell my husband when I get home, only for him to agree I was in the wrong. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
Seems like a very classic Karen situation, honestly.
She's the asshole. And that's exactly what Reddit has said.
Yes, I agree because you can't fucking put your face in somebody's business like that. Like it has literally zero to do with you. It's not It's not affecting you at all. Like, right. Sure, it's a shitty thing.
But the thing is if her dad hadn't given her that card, as soon as he got the statement, he would know what happened. She would be parented. It is not your job to parent someone else's child.
100%.
Unless they are doing absolutely something horrible, like hurting an animal or another kid or something that is really, really going to hurt somebody.
No, I agree. You're the asshole for sure.
100%.
Like, don't put yourself in situations like that. Like, you eavesdropped, probably unintentionally,
right? Especially in a department store.
Yeah, you just overheard 2 teenage girls talking, and you don't know. Maybe the dad did say that you could use the card. You know?
There's times when I go out to the grocery store or something, and I'll be on the phone with my sister, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm not the one paying because I have your card. You gave me permission to use that card."
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't think about that.
Things like that.
If you called me and told me that some lady did that to you, I would be fucking pissed.
Right, because now you're going to have to come down to the grocery store.
Right.
And use your own card, show your ID to say, yes, this is my card. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. There's top comment, "You're the asshole. Did it ever occur to you that she was telling the truth and her dad had given her his credit card? Mind your own business." Then they edited their comment and says, "Holy shit, this blew up. To everyone saying that she could have taken the card without permission, you are right. But it is still none of OP's business, and there is no way to know for sure. If the girl was an adult who said she was using her husband's card, OP likely wouldn't have batted an eye." Mind you, I did not read that until after I'd already said what I said, but it's true.
But it's even then, you know, like if this lady was standing behind you in the grocery store and you were spending $500 on groceries, which is normal, I guess, but if you said, you know, like you said, if you're on the phone with your sister and like, "Oh, I'm not paying, like, this $500 worth of groceries is coming home with me, you know, I'm using Jesse's card," and this lady was like, "Well, you can't do that," like, yes, the fuck you can.
Yes, I can.
I'm not gonna give you my card and send you to the grocery store and worry about how much you spent, unless we most likely had a discussion.
Right. Sorry about that.
Um,
There's also another comment. You're the asshole. What a fucking busybody. Before I had my first job, my mom would regularly give me her store credit card so I could go shopping on my own and buy clothes for myself. And she would receive store coupons and points for my purchases that she could then use. Thank God I never encountered any morally entitled people like OP. And threatening to call the cops on teenagers who you suspect of fraud. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'll step up and parent these girls if no one else will. Like, fuck you, Will. It's not your place. You are not their parent. Why did you even need to make this post? You were clearly the asshole. Another commenter responded to that and said, my parents even taught me how to forge their signatures.
Right.
It happens all the time.
It does. I mean, you just can't.
Yeah, there's multiple people. Same. My mom sat me down and showed me how to do her signature so I could use her card on the rare occasion she lent it to me. Now, if I spent 4 figures, I'd get reamed and forced to return the items in question. At no point would she have wanted the cops called on me.
Right. I mean, that's solely up to her father to decide.
Oh, 100%.
Do I think it's fucking crazy to spend 4 digits on a fucking pair of boots?
Right.
Or anything?
But again, we were raised very differently. If she was raised higher class, then it may be nothing to go and spend $200 on a pair of shoes.
Right.
And be totally fine with it. Me, I go to the store and I look like today. I look at the clearance section, which was an additional 50% off for a pair of tennis shoes. I'm going to save $50 on tennis shoes rather than spending $80.
Right. Yeah, that's... You're a mega asshole.
100%
Mega asshole
the
for
asshole.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, like I said, classic Karen.
Oh.
What else you got, boo-boo?
So, let me get the original because this one does have an update on it.
Ooh.
So I have the original and the update.
Fancy.
It was 4 years ago for the original. I have to look at the update. I think the update wasn't too long after that. Am I the asshole for not sharing medical history before being pranked?
Say that again?
Am I the asshole for not sharing medical history before being pranked? Yeah. This one was intriguing. And there are a couple edits at the end, so I'll go through the original and the edits. We'll talk about it, and then we'll do the update.
Okay.
It says, hey, I'm a schizophrenic. Started when I was 22 and will last till I die. I'm active in schizophrenic communities, go to groups, the works, but I am fairly private about it to most people, also including my friends. It's fairly common for people to think I'm eccentric, comes with the turf, due to some of my habits. These habits include not going to parties or other places with a lot of people, suddenly deciding not to do something. I have to be protective not to do or go to certain things if I think delusions might be coming on. Saying the occasional odd quip, normal schizophrenic stuff. Some friends thought it would be funny to make it seem like I might be going crazy as a group. They individually wear something silly like a wizard hat or dinosaur costume, T-Rex blow-up costume, to a group event or say something totally out of the ordinary and pretend like it's normal. Police like to track people like you. COVID is just a way to be microchipped, etc. These are very real, scary thoughts to me. I would ask members of the group if they had heard concerns about these conspiracies or weird garb from other members, but they all acted like they had hung out with that particular member that day and I hadn't been involved. I was really, really scared that this could have been a massive delusion morphing into a full psychosis, so I preemptively checked myself into a hospital to stop myself from potentially hurting myself or diving further into the rabbit hole, common in schizophrenic community. I was so scared my medication stopped working. No one heard from me for a few days while I was in the hospital, and when I checked out, I confided in one of them what had happened. I got a really long apology explaining what had happened, and I blew up on them. I have ignored attempts from the others trying to apologize and have no desire to talk to them again. Am I the asshole for not previously stating that I am schizophrenic? Edit. People have been saying to post the length of the prank around 3 weeks of making him feel crazy. Another edit. Thank you for the awards and stuff, but I really want to highlight some of the messages I've gotten. I'm around 150 messages and counting, and I'm trying to respond to the ones I can, hopefully offer insight, resources that I find helpful. It's r/schizophrenia. For groups, just Google schizophrenia support groups in my area. Something will pop up, and when you actually get there, someone will have a further list. You get what you put into the groups. You don't have to talk your first couple of times, but no one will look at you with the batshit look if you say, reality check, is there a bird in the room, or something in that regard. That did happen once, and the audible sigh of relief from 8 other people, and the laughter that followed was hysterical. Medications help so much. It's the difference between being able to go for a walk with my dog and staying in bed all day. But it takes time. So many people have asked what drug and doses a loved one should be on. I cannot answer that. There are so many other drugs out there in different dosages. I can tell you that you probably will not have a noticeable difference in behavior in 2 weeks after trying a medication. You start small and work your way up to a therapeutic effect when it actually helps. It might take some time to actually get to feeling human again. Not every medication is meant for every person, but don't give up. That's insane. I'm sorry. Even if he wasn't schizophrenic, having an entire group of your friends make you feel like you're going crazy.
Well,
like
it's confusing to me because they didn't know.
They didn't know he was schizophrenic.
But they
just thought it was funny. They chose him and chose that they were going to make him feel crazy. So they would put on a dinosaur costume and pretend it didn't happen.
That is the fucking craziest one-off situation, like to happen to that person specifically.
Right. Like they could have picked anybody in the group, and maybe they just thought he was the quirkiest so that it would work on him or something, because he has other like little quirks and things like that from being schizophrenic.
It seems like you should have different friends. I don't.
Oh, 100%. Those are not your friends.
I wouldn't say that you're the asshole for not saying that you're schizophrenic, because that's like...
That's very personal.
Yeah.
And people get scared.
Right.
They don't understand it. They get scared, which is why I read those edits, because anybody who's schizophrenic, if they need help, this guy is trying to help with that.
Right. Yeah, that's... I kind of get it from, like, the friend's point of view a little bit, but, like,
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, a couple days. I mean, like,
I don't even know if a couple days. That seems like a
once.
1 day thing.
Yeah, like once. Top comment, not the asshole. Even if you didn't disclose your medical history, they knew enough that saying those things would fuck with you. If a prank doesn't leave both parties laughing, it isn't a prank, it's bullying. Responding to that, another commenter, a prank is leaving plastic flamingos on a friend's lawn or something harmless like that. This wasn't a prank. When it comes to prank, confuse, don't abuse.
Right. I mean, these people scared this person enough that they checked themselves into a hospital.
He thought he was going into psychosis.
Right. That's fucking pretty serious.
That is horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, that makes me feel uncomfortable, honestly.
Yeah.
Like well, to my knowledge, I've never been around anyone who's schizophrenic.
I have.
I'm not sure.
My stepdad's brother is.
I
don't think you've been around him.
I don't know, because there was in my drug days, there was a lot of strange people. So, I'm not saying that this person's strange at all. That's just a figure of speech.
He described himself as strange.
Oh, well, okay.
As odd and quirky.
Yeah, that's just... yeah, I agree. That's bullying.
Oh, 100%.
That's fucked up.
Check the update?
Sure.
All right. Hey, I had a few folks messaging me over the last couple of months. The latest tonight. It touched me that so many of you still message me to see if things are going well. So I wanted to update people in masses. Life is going phenomenally. I axed that friend group and I have since been kicking butt. I realized that it was my close friend group was constantly putting me down or taking advantage of me. Who else could be? The biggest answer was myself. I stopped doing things I enjoyed to invest in people that took joy in hurting me. Turns out it went to a much deeper than gaslighting. I got 2 new hobbies, woodworking and brewing. I absolutely love them both and have made friends in those communities. I started cooking instead of takeout, and I met the woman who is now my girlfriend at the local market. And we do most things together now. I realized my job had been taking a huge advantage over me. I work significantly harder and longer hours for less pay than the employees under me. After I transitioned to taking better care of myself, I successfully created a resume that outlined my successes. Recognizing those successes took quite a bit of effort, and got a new job in higher management for significantly more pay. I'm also going to buy a house this December with a yard for my dog and I. Nothing big, just a nice 1-bedroom with a large yard for my buddy and I to play fetch in. So thanks, Reddit. Oh, you won. Never would have made life improvements if it weren't for any external force.
Awesome.
Which is amazing. He has completely turned his life around.
Yeah, and that is a huge thing, to let toxic motherfuckers go. You have to do that.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Oh, it's so hard. And it's so, especially because it was his close friend group.
Right.
So you don't know how long they've been friends.
Yeah.
Could be high school friends. Could be, they grew up together kind of friends. Like, it's hard.
It is super hard. I've let go of some people and I still miss some people I've let go of, but it's like,
Definitely.
do you take the risk of, like, giving them the benefit of the doubt? Like, have they changed or have they not? Or have you changed enough that you don't need people
And
anymore?
I think that's the hardest part, is recognizing the change in yourself. I
Yeah.
will say that over the last 5 years, I have changed a lot. A lot.
So I'm bad at, like, seeing how much I've changed. It's okay. So, like, if you put me in my shoes 7 years ago, I've obviously changed. I'm fucking 6 years sober. 7 years ago, I was a fucking mess, and I'm not that person anymore. I feel smarter. I'm a harder worker.
Yeah.
I'm a better lover. All those things, but, like, we've spent the past 5 years together.
Yes.
How much change have you seen in me in 5 years?
Oh, a lot. The first couple years, I'm surprised we made it through that. Like, we did not know how to communicate. We had so much past trauma, and
Yeah.
oh goodness, those couple of years were rough, but we learned how to communicate, and we changed, and we adapted, and we figured out what we wanted out of life, and we're doing that.
And it's great. It feels awesome. I tell you this shit all the time. I mean, we just got married, but, I've never had the support that you give me.
Right.
And, like, I think we have each helped each other get more of a backbone.
Oh, 100%.
Because we each have separate things that we didn't have much of a backbone on before.
Yeah.
Not to be specific on those things, but now we are in those aspects. If you would have put us now in those situations back then,
Oh, yeah.
completely different outcomes.
Oh, 100% completely different outcomes. I don't think I got real sick of being walked all over. And unfortunately, that has lost me some people. Once they realized that I wasn't going to just stand by and let them do and say and act the way that they wanted towards me anymore. Because that's what I've done my whole life. And the thing is it shows me who's supposed to be in my life and who's not.
Right.
And I think that this guy learned that, unfortunately, a very, very hard way. Having to commit himself and realizing that it wasn't him, it was his friends. But he completely turned his life around. Has a girlfriend, has a new job, better pay, new hobbies. Like, he completely turned his life around. So, unfortunately, it took that for him to turn his life around. But the good thing that came out of it was that he's happy now.
Right. 100% agreed.
So definitely, I don't think he's the asshole.
No.
The initial question was, is he the asshole for not disclosing his diagnosis?
No.
And I don't believe so.
I wouldn't. That's not something that I would just tell somebody.
I don't just meet new people and be like, oh, hi, I have seasonal depression.
Right.
Like,
That's what I was just going to say. Like, I'm not going to tell. It takes a lot to confide in somebody, especially
with
mental
stuff.
Yeah. our example was depression. Mm-hmm. So imagine if you had schizophrenia.
Oh my goodness.
And you know how people look at just depression. Imagine how they look at schizophrenia.
Oh yeah, people look at depression like, oh, you're crazy.
Right.
Get out of bed. Go do the laundry. Go do the dishes. Like, it should be easy. What are you doing? I can't imagine schizophrenic people. Like, there's this girl on TikTok that I watch. Her and her boyfriend are both schizophrenic. Yeah. And hers is very visual and his is very audible. So he hears things, she sees things. They work at the same store, but she laughs about it. She said that she was handing out cookies one day and she noticed like an hour later there was a cookie on the floor. She handed a cookie to one of her people that she saw because of her schizophrenicness. And she goes, which one was it? Like, who did I see? Or like her boyfriend will ask her a question but hear a different answer and start making like something different for dinner. And she's like, what are you doing? But they figure it out. She actually just had an instance where she had to go to the hospital because she was going into psychosis. It happens. But you have people out there like this guy who is bringing awareness or this couple who are bringing awareness to the issue.
Yeah. And we need more people in the world like that.
Yes, 100%. Because there's a lot of people out there who share this issue. Mm-hmm. I personally only know one, but they're out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same. Just be fucking kind to people.
Be nice. You don't know what people are going through.
Right.
Like, they could be having a horrible day and you going, oh, I like your boots. Could literally make their day. It could save their life. And you don't know that.
Yeah.
Or you being like, oh, you're disgusting. They could go unalive themselves.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate. But, like, you know, there was that house fire that I talked about today, and I sent a message. I said, hey, I don't know if they need any help. I was like, I don't know if there's anything that I can do. But if there is anything, you know, if they need some fucking water or something.
If they need donations of anything, just let us know. I mean, I have stuff lying around this house everywhere that could be given to them.
Right.
So, in reality, if they need, like, pots and pans, things like that, let me know and I can send you with stuff.
You got any more or should we wrap it up?
I have a couple more. This one's pretty short.
Well, hold on a second. Let's see. What time is it?
It is 9:47.
Let's do one more.
Oh, no. If we're going to do one more, I have to pick.
You do have to pick.
Okay, I will actually have you pick.
You're going to have me pick? Are you just going to read me the headline?
I'm going to read you the headline, and you tell me which one you want.
Oh, boy.
First one, am I the asshole for silently getting up and walking out of the restaurant during New Year's Eve dinner after I was told to pay for everyone at the table, my in-laws included? Or am I the asshole for telling my extended family how many men, roughly, my sister has slept with after she outed our youngest brother as a virgin?
That's a hard choice.
I know.
First of all, I just want to say that I talk shit about virgins sometimes, and I was a whore, so I kind of relate to that story, and that's probably the one that I'm leaning towards. Okay. But, hold on. Can you read me the headline of the first one again? Sorry, folks.
Am I the asshole for slightly dyslexic, apparently today. Am I the asshole for silently getting up and walking out of the restaurant during New Year's Eve dinner after I was told to pay for everyone at the table? My in-laws.
I don't even think I really need to hear the whole story there. I think that if you're going out to dinner as a group, you should either be... someone should know who's paying. Mm-hmm. Like, that should be figured out, especially on New Year's Eve. I'm sure wherever you went was busy.
Is that what you're trying to do? Because if you're not going to do that one, then I'll do that one on a different episode. Which one are we doing?
Let's do the virgin.
The virgin? Okay. And mind you, you're the asshole, you're not the asshole, and everyone sucks. So you can pick one of each. So am I the asshole for telling my extended family how many men, roughly, my sister has slept with after she outed her youngest brother as a virgin? We had a family dinner this evening. My family has 4 kids in total. Me, my elder sister, 29 female, younger sister, 24 female, and youngest brother, 22 male. Extended family attended our family dinner. So all of our significant others, our cousins, aunts, and uncles, etc. During the dinner, my elder sister and younger brother got into a mild disagreement. My sister seemed, at least to me, to be coming across as very aggressive out of frustration and losing said argument. The 2 of them were too absorbed in their argument to realize the rest of us were getting a bit fed up. Eventually, my sister got really fed up and said, "Shut up. I'm not going to..."
My mic just fell off.
Please reattach that. I'm going to continue reading. Eventually, my sister got really fed up and said, "Shut up. I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." My brother hadn't done any personal attacks up until this point. It was completely unprovoked. I think it might have been the alcohol, as my sister is a mean drunk. Anyway, I immediately told my sister to grow up and that she was making an embarrassment of herself. She replied by saying everyone knows he's a virgin and she didn't say anything wrong. This annoyed me, as my bro definitely has confidence issues and doesn't need to be made fun of like this. So I responded by saying how she slept with well over 100 men while she was in college, and that since everyone in the family knows, this is not a big deal, right? Turns out her husband didn't know this amazing. Her husband amazingly didn't know this. I genuinely assumed he must have known. He left the party angrily, saying my sister misled him about her past. Family is blaming me for their marital problems. I refuse to accept I did anything wrong. My sister bullied my brother in front of everyone. All I did was give her a taste of her own medicine. Am I the asshole?
No, I don't think you're the asshole. You're just standing up for your little bro. I mean, I get that. My fucking sister would do the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, it is not your fault that your sister is not honest with, did you say husband?
Husband.
Oh, that's real fucked up.
Yeah, her husband did not know about her sexual past, apparently.
That's,
somehow. I don't know. We've had so many conversations about that. I don't know how other people haven't.
How long ago was this posted?
5 years ago.
Well, okay. Well, I feel like maybe it's just the younger generation that does this, but everybody talks about fucking body count, don't they?
I mean, I would think so, but elder sister 29, so she was 29 5 years ago, so she's 34 now. Brother's 22. So yeah, he's an older virgin, but there's nothing wrong with that. People voted, and it is everyone sucks.
I'll agree. Everyone does suck.
Except for the brother.
Well, no.
He didn't do anything.
Suck. No, he's just there. He's being him, you know? And it sucks that... It really sucks that happened in front of the whole family.
Yeah, but uncles, aunts, cousins, like the whole extended family.
As far as the fucking sister not being honest with her husband, like, that's crazy. Like, especially if you... I guess I can probably see it from her point of view. Like, if I tell this dude I fucked 200 dudes, like, he's not going to want to do anything with me.
Yeah, but also, like, be honest, because it's
right.
going to come out. Your
right.
skeletons are going to come out of your closet.
Right.
It's just what it's going to happen. Top comment. Everyone sucks here. One person making personal attacks doesn't mean someone else should, especially since you weren't even in the argument to begin with.
Agreed. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Correct. Response to that was, yeah, everyone sucks here. Seems right. Not cool of her to be going after his little brother like that, but there's much better ways of diffusing the argument than stooping to her level of personal attack regardless of the aftermath. I've never understood why people with bigger skeletons try to go after others. No chill. It's possible that they don't think people will out their bigger skeletons. Hopefully this older sister will learn from this.
Yeah, it is a shitty situation for everyone involved.
It is, and it just sucks. I'm sorry, who says that at a dinner table in front of your parents, aunts, everything like that? Like, who is discussing this?
I feel like I almost need more information. Like, what the fuck was this fight about?
Right, what were they arguing about?
And, like, how the hell did it end in, well, everybody knows you're a virgin. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
What does that...
It's hard because a lot of people are also saying not the asshole. Not the asshole. I disagree. Fire with fire is justified. If the other person is making a claim, a certain asshole behavior is not asshole-ish. If they claim that and then whine when it comes back to them, it just makes them a blatantly hypocritical asshole. Everyone in the sub likes to spout two wrongs don't make it right, but you are missing the fact that the sister thinks this is supposedly acceptable. So he's just returning to her what she thinks is acceptable conversation topic. I honestly fail to see how this makes him the asshole.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I still stick with what I said.
I don't think they're the asshole.
It's kind of, yeah, it is an everybody sucks situation, but also not the asshole.
Yeah,
because, like I said, sticking up for your little bro, like, good on you for doing that. And also, again, it sucks that you weren't honest with your fucking husband about how many people you slept with. Mm-hmm. So, that was 100% a taste of your own medicine, and I bet it got you to shut the fuck up. So
someone responded, yeah, but why do these siblings know so much about each other's sex lives?
That's a point that I didn't look at.
I mean, yeah, but I guess it depends on how close you are. Me and my sister I know way more about her sex life than I should, and she probably knows way more about our sex life than she should. But
yeah,
she's my best friend, and that's the hard part.
I wouldn't say my sister knows everything about mine, but
she knows more than you know. You think she does?
I'm sure. Well, you guys are friends, so that probably doesn't help anything. But also, she's my rock. Yeah. So
100%.
I mean, everybody that fucking wasn't a one night stand has probably met my sister. So sorry, Kim.
Not the asshole. People really need to learn how to dish it if they can't take it. Simple as that.
Yeah, agreed.
But he hurt her feelings after she absolutely demolished her brother in front of the whole family. What an asshole.
I mean, again, you fucking... I don't know. I feel like I need more information.
Yeah, I mean, the OP did say that she's a mean drunk, so she could have just had too many to drink and was trying to end the argument by shock value.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
that's...
You kind of get what you put in. Anything else on there?
No, and unfortunately, was Jerry Springer there? Seems like Jerry Springer would be there.
Seems like a very Jerry Springer event.
Oh, yeah, I'm just scrolling through. I'm now down to the point of like, oh my goodness. Okay. This commenter, mind you, only 17 upvotes. This is a shitpost of the typical worst kind. All women are sluts and feel sorry for the poor men. Honest to God.
Okay.
What? They have since deleted their account, which, mind you, 17 upvotes could mean that there was, 200 upvotes and 100 and so many of them were downvotes.
Right.
So.
Yeah, not the asshole.
Yeah. Haha, yikes. I know a lot of people are saying both suck, but I'm going with not the asshole. Here's why. Not only were you sticking up for your bro, you were giving her exactly what she said was fine. Additionally, her husband didn't know. Yikes. Now there can definitely be mixed thoughts here. Her sex life doesn't determine her value or ability to be a good wife. That is true. But he is claiming he misled her with her past, and that isn't okay. In terms of their relationship, the fact that she slept her way through college should not matter, but she lied to him about it. That's not okay. Relationships should be fully open and honest. If she was afraid, she lied to him about it. Hold on. And if she was afraid he would judge her or stop loving her, then they shouldn't be together. If you can't love each other without the condition of having a moderate and acceptable past, then I genuinely do not think it is real love. There are bits of my boyfriend's past that I do not like, but I also know that it has formed him into the person he is today, and I love the shit out of that person. If he cannot accept who she was and just love her for the person she now is it really a love worth fighting for? So you are not the asshole, because now they have the chance to address this issue and she can stop lying about it.
I agree with that statement.
100%. Yeah. No, I don't think she's the asshole at all. They did get the verdict of everybody sucks.
It makes sense. I can see it from that side, too.
Yeah.
It's just a shitty situation.
It really is. But, yeah, I was kind of hoping you were going to pick that one.
Well, how do you think your first podcast went?
I think it went well. I definitely stumbled over some of my words.
You had that.
But other than that, I think it went well.
You got to zoom in, make the font bigger.
I need to do something.
It's hard to sometimes it's hard to read on that. Do you have is it on dark mode?
I don't know. You do.
Is the background of the screen white or black?
White?
So it's not on dark mode.
No.
Would that help you?
I have no idea.
We can try it.
Okay.
But also, you're kind of shaking off some cobwebs. It's your first time, so.
Yeah, definitely a little bit there.
Yeah, I think it did good. I think it went well.
I think I picked some pretty good stories.
Yeah.
Because some of them were very like, whoa.
Right. But yeah, I think it went well. How do you feel about it?
I feel good.
You gonna keep doing it?
Yeah, of course. We just have to figure out a name.
Yeah.
So,
We'll get that.
once this gets posted, we will have a name.
Yep. It'll have a name by the time it gets posted because you have to.
I know. That's fine. Oh, goodness. But yeah, I think it is now time for bed because we both have to work in the morning.
Lame.
I know. I'm not too thrilled about it either.
Alrighty. Well,
All right.
until next time.
Yes.
Bye-bye.